Hi guys, I'm going to do the next family life cycle of adulthood. Adulthood is the longest stage and normally lasts from age 18 through old age, where there might be smaller psychological or culturally defined stages, like for example marriage, kids, retirement. Those are kind of examples of some of the smaller cultural defined stages. But adulthood is when human beings are fully grown and must provide entirely for themselves using the skills they learned throughout the first life stages. So in adulthood is when you see individuals using the tools and the morals and the ethics that they have obtained through adolescence and childhood. This is also a significant time because it is when the life cycle is initiated again by the conception and birth of the adult's own children. So during adulthood, typically, I guess not necessarily typically anymore, but a lot of the time, adults will have children of their own, which restarts the whole life cycle, which is interesting. At the end of the adult life cycle, the body begins to deteriorate and the life cycle eventually ends in death. During adulthood, individuals find a significant other and will eventually commit to their partner in marriage. Individuals within this stage of the family life cycle will also make the choice whether to have children of their own. This is the longest part of the life cycle, therefore many different subcycles happen throughout this time. That's like what we discussed a minute ago about retirement, children, marriage, and things like that. For families including an individual with a disability, this time period doesn't necessarily look like it would for someone else. Many times the parents of children with disabilities are not able to dream of their child getting married or going to college or having babies or living self-sufficiently. And the same parents that have a child with a disability, their adult life cycle also looks differently because they don't really experience the things like retirement or grandchildren or things of that nature, which that can be a really stressful time in the whole family's dynamic. Parents will give up on the independent years of their older adult life in order to care for their disabled children. This can possibly be the most stressful part of the family's lives as they figure out how to maneuver life taking care of an adult child. Resentment is a popular emotion during this time. This is totally normal, and it's really important that you reiterate that as much as possible. Many times as a SPED teacher, you will have disabled students until they reach the age of 21. There are 2 boys at our local high school that are qualified for this. So the school provides the students with aid in the transitioning period between 18 and 21. So the students have graduated high school, and they're still coming back to the school to receive specific aid that's funded by the government. I know that in our local school, the 2 students have aid getting to work, and they work at a hotel in a nearby town in the laundry department. And I think, if I can remember right, one of the boys, it's 2 or 3 times a week. So the school offers paras that drive them into town and take them to work and sit there with them and help them. And then when they get back to the school, they'll work on other things on the other days. They also practice math skills and speech therapy on their days that they're not working, and they can do this with the paras. They do this with the SPED teacher. It's pretty much based on their specific needs, and the school tries to aid them in those areas as much as they can. After the age of 21, the parents are the key holders of responsibility for their child's needs. This can be a really big transition because parents no longer have the help of the school system. And if you think of a parent being able to have that help for the past 21 years, it's going to be a big change when they don't. So it's really important that you offer them as much support and information as you possibly can, because without you, like, you could be the only person that they really talk to about these things. So it's important to get things lined up and get information for those families and those parents about different programs and different opportunities for that child or adult at this point, just to make the transition as smooth as possible for both the parents and the child.